Washington XL 92.5 FM.
All right, welcome in. Today's new drug is a Minicamp. On the field they were today, the first of 3. And then they say goodbye until training camp. So 2 more days to go out there. We were all out there. Frangie hates Carline with you. JJ LaSelva is here as well. We'll talk some football and a whole lot else as we get into the hot summer days and still talk a little bit of football. That's kind of cool. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Yeah, anytime we can be out watching football, it's a good day. And I thought it was a good day for the club. Liam Cohen wanted it to be a little bit more competitive. We had talked about that yesterday going in, that you'd probably feel a little bit of a rise in intensity in terms of mentally. Obviously, they can't do anything physically in terms of contact, but you felt like there would be a noticeable difference in these 3 practices compared to the voluntary portion of the OTAs. And, in looking at it, I think he got that. I think it was good. It was balanced on both sides. Obviously anytime Trevor hits Brian Thomas Jr. deep for a big gain, that's what you want to see. But defensively, I thought they had some moments too. Trayvon Walker was unbelievable today. Now, Liam Cohen did say that the offensive line is incredibly hampered in this format in terms of what they can really do. But he mentioned just Trayvon Walker's acceleration off the ball today was just unbelievable. And watching it, it was one of those things where you realize how at a disadvantage the offensive tackle is, but it also makes you wonder when you see somebody move that big, that fast, like would it even really matter? Like he is so quick. He's really done an outstanding job in terms of managing his steps on that burst. And Trayvon Walker is looking like a player that's got a little bit more savvy to his game, is figuring out, his role now. Again, this wasn't something he really did in college. But, boy, I think Trayvon Walker, if he stays healthy, boy, he is going to be tough to block.
See, the reality of where he has been is this. He was the first pick in the draft. He was 1-1. And when you're 1-1, everybody always scrutinizes you, so that part hasn't changed. In addition to that, when the guy that was 1-2 plays the exact same position and has been a more productive pro, not only that, but many thought he should have gone ahead of you before you went ahead of him. Well, you still went ahead of him. He went right behind you and's been the more productive pro and been a pass rusher people are raving about. The pressure heightens. Whether that's fair or not, that's a reality. And Trayvon has been a good player. He's had back-to-back double-digit sack seasons. But the big question now, and you hit it, can he become elite? He has not been an elite NFL player. He's been a damn good NFL player. You get 10 sacks in the NFL in back-to-back seasons, 10.5 and 10, you're pretty good.
And play the run as well as he does.
And be as physical in other parts of the game. But can you be a 15, 16, 18 sack guy? That's the big question. Josh Hines-Allen has proven that he can be that. He's done it. Boy, if they both do it. If it's the old beat me there and meet me there thing, that really can become what they are. So you're right. It's fun watching him.
And we got to see Travis Hunter play defense.
Travis Hunter played a little defense, and every single media person on the First Coast had to see the cameras are all out. I had to take a picture, and they were all out. Yeah. Okay, it didn't matter what else was happening. Okay, they could have been Trevor Lawrence throwing touchdowns, somebody saving lives. It didn't matter. Every camera was on Travis Hunter in that white jersey, not the teal jersey. I'm to something else you said a minute ago. I'm glad that Liam Cohen said, listen, you're an offensive lineman now, you have no chance. You don't. I mean, offensive linemen have to hate this because you can't punch. They can run by you and even move you, but you can't punch. I mean, you can't do it. It's against the rules until you're in pads. So the offensive line people have to just be going, just wait till we put pads on and give us a fighting chance. So, but he was clear about that too. He said that's the circumstance. He talked about it afterwards. So, all right, a lot of things we'll talk about. We'll talk about some Jags. I do have a question about Brenton Strange, from whom we're going to hear in a minute, right after the break. Everybody raves about what a complete player. He's a good guy, isn't he? I don't know Brenton as well as I do some of the other guys. I know you had him one-on-one today, and I know a lot of some of the other folks talked to him as well. He's a down-to-earth good guy, but, man, he's chiseled, isn't he? Got a square jaw. Looks like an actor.
He looks like a Penn State athlete.
He does. Yeah,
that's the best way. Like, Brenton Strange looks like he played at Penn State.
Yeah, you're right.
He's got that, Yeah, he's just got
Looks like a football player.
every intangible for a football player you can think
he's
of
the guy
at the tight
that
end
looks
position.
like when he's done playing football, if he wanted to go be an actor, he'd be an actor. Then he's got that look about him. So, but the question I will have about him, and everybody will, I think it's a fair question, is some of the really good. Evan Ingram was the quintessential example of this. A tight end that kind of plays like a wide receiver at times. There's some really good pass catching tight ends, but they don't play like wide receivers. I don't think Kelsey plays like a wide receiver. He's a really good player, but I don't know. You know what I mean?
Particularly in his prime.
Yeah, well, that's right. But I think, how do you?
I think Britton Strange is a lot like Dallas Goedert, who is a sensational player. He just can never stay healthy.
Right.
But when you look at Dallas Goedert, I mean, he is always productive when he's out there. But he can block. He's a great blocker.
Right. That's right.
But he can really kill a team as a receiver as well. And I think no one's ever made that comp, but it's just something. So I didn't hear this or from somebody. But to me, that's when I think of what Britton Strange can be here as a Jaguar. Goddard is who I keep coming back to, because Goddard is an all-around player, but can have. I mean, he's had 11 catch, 150 yard, 2 touchdown games before.
Can Brenton be? I think he can, but he's got to prove that he can. I mean, the tight ends that play like wide receivers, sometimes you'll isolate them out left or right all by themselves and try and get a matchup, try and get a jump ball. We don't see that. You never saw that with tight ends back in the day. Everybody thought Kyle Pitts would be that guy, and it just never, at least so far, has never happened for him as a pro. Remember in college, Kyle Pitts looked like he was going to be Gonzalez and Gates and all of them.
It's
all rolled into
shocking
one.
what I'd say poor career he is. His best year was his rookie year.
Yeah.
He had over 1,000 yards his rookie year. Yeah. But he
never became.
Yeah, but
so
it's
far,
been disappointing since.
Yeah, so far has never become that. So can Brenton Strange do it? And one other question about Brenton Strange. Did the presence of, because Evan Ingram's a good player, man. A hard worker, first guy out there, last guy to leave.
You couldn't have a better, mentor's too strong, but you couldn't have a better leader in your room when you arrived as a rookie.
But here's my question. The good of being with Evan Ingram is he's a phenomenal leader and a phenomenal mentor and a great person, great work habits, and a really good player. But there's only so many balls to go around. Did his presence stunt the development of Brenton Strange because those critical tight end passes were going to Evan Ingram? Is that a possibility?
I think it probably to a degree, but tight end is always, I think, a long-term position. Like the Brock Bowers, that's an outlier.
Because he plays like a wide receiver. Yeah, he's the perfect example of a tight end who plays like a wide receiver.
And had huge success immediately. Right. But a lot of times tight ends need a few years. Like look at Travis Kelce's career. He didn't do much his first couple of years, and he's going to walk away from the game as one of the best to ever do it. So tight end is a position that can take – it's that year 3 where a lot of elite players will really take off. And so, I certainly it limited – Britton's acclamation and everything in terms of being a big focal point of the offense. But I think ultimately he played enough to where with a entirely new system, I think he's going to be fine. I think he's played enough to where if he's a good fit for this offense, and it certainly seems like Liam Cohen and Grant Udisky, the new offensive coordinator, believe that he is. Yeah. Like he should be productive. Yeah, I mean, if he can, again, we always have to caveat with if he can stay healthy, but if Brenton Strange can stay healthy, I mean, they rave about him.
So yeah, and I'll say this, my buddy Jeff Lagerman has always said they don't use him enough. He has raved about him. He has been raving about him on and on. So we'll certainly talk about that. We'll hear from Brenton in just a minute. We'll talk some Jaguars. What else kind of stood out for us today, including Travis Hunter playing on the defensive side of the ball. I do want to get back into the NFL. Brett Hastings will be here tomorrow, again, to break down the new College Sports Commission. I will say this, because we talked about it yesterday, you and I did, the whole NIL situation and limiting it and enforcing the rules, everything you read is these commissioners want that. These schools, these teams, these conferences, they want rules on NIL. That is now evolving into the most intriguing part of this whole thing for me. The $20.5 million that the team can pay its players is what it is. That seems pretty black and white. Now, how they divvy it up might be different. We had that conversation yesterday. Different schools based on what sport matters more to them. But I think that's pretty black and white. You put them on payroll and pay them. That's what you do. I'll be interested to see how the whole NIL thing is governed and how many players, because the big zap, forget about the school losing a scholarship or two. There's no more TV sanctions. That's over. The scholarship sanctions don't even seem to matter anymore because of all the players you can have there. It's not that big a difference whether you can sign 23 or 25, right? So, but making a player ineligible is gigantic. I mean, what if DJ Lagway got $3 million after all this, and the clearinghouse made him ineligible for that LSU game based on whatever the rules are? You talk about a newsmaker,
Right?
losing 5 scholarships, losing your cap, being bumped off TV like back in the day will never compare with what this would be. You know that? Nothing would, because I thought about that even back in the day, all the cheating Florida did and Oklahoma and Clemson and all the SMU. I got thinking about this. They never made players ineligible. Do you realize that?
Yeah, because you didn't get the verdict until those players had been off campus.
Well, that's
for like
right.
2
Well,
years.
and you're a good point. Now, a big part of it is sometimes it happened after the player was gone. But I got thinking about that. Players were never ineligible.
I mean, we saw there was like A.J. Green sold a jersey and had to miss a game.
That's
Johnny
right.
Football,
Good
I think,
point.
had an autograph session
but
when
not
he was
very
still
often.
Yeah,
not very often.
But yeah.
I mean, I can still remember. So it got me thinking about players who have been suspended in football. I mean, suspended players, not teams, not probation. I think the one that sticks out to me more than anything else had nothing to do with illegal benefits, everything to do with steroids. Will Grier,
Without a doubt.
the Will Grier suspension to this day. Will Grier losing half a season because of steroids. A quarterback after all these big offensive and defensive linemen never get popped for anything, and a quarterback got popped for performance-enhancing drugs. I'm trying to think of another football player in the last 20, 30 years. Do we have one? Another college football player in the last 30 years that was a player of significance that was bopped for steroids?
I have no recollection of it, which means the only explanation to this is that McElwain is the one that turned him.
I mean, something is so weird.
It is so bizarre.
And McElwain never liked him.
Never liked him. Again, Will Grier, just to give you an idea, in that season in 2015, the starting quarterback for Florida, he was 65.8% completion. He had thrown already for 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. He was on his way to a 30-touchdown, 9 interception kind of season, and gone.
And I just, when we all knew McElwain didn't like him, it was very clear. You always heard McElwain didn't like him. So much so that I can tell you this. His dad told me, we were doing Gridiron Now at the time, so I was talking to coaches and whatnot. I was writing a lot about college football. His dad told me, was dad named Chad? I think it was Chad. His dad said, I sent him a note. I said, Chad, I think it's Chad. If I'm getting this wrong, tell me. But I don't think he liked your kid. And he responded to me, we've all figured that out. We all know that, and none of us can figure out why.
Yeah.
That was texting back and forth.
By the way, Will Grier goes on to West Virginia after sitting out the entire 2016 season.
Right.
Goes to West Virginia, throws 71 touchdowns to 20 picks.
How about that?
Yeah, this is a guy that could have helped you, Jim McElwain.
Yeah, so anyway, so back to the point, if this college sports commission starts making players ineligible, it will be a gigantic story. That's the story, so we'll talk about that. But let's take a break. Let's talk some Jaguars football when we come back. Brenton Strange, will he be the star tight end the Jags need him to be? And is he ready for that? Hayes caught up with him. We'll talk about that. You'll hear from him after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Proud to be an American. Proud to live in America. 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control. Mosquito season is upon us, but don't let them take over. The secret to a bite-free yard is starting today with Kingfish Pest Control. Their 3-step mosquito defense process stops them before they can spread. Eliminate breeding areas. Build a protective barrier around your yard and monthly treatments to keep them away all season long. The earlier you start, the fewer mosquitoes you'll have to fight. Don't let those pests ruin your outdoor fun. Call Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Where does Northeast Florida buy cars? Arlington Toyota. Mia here, and why Arlington? Selection. Arlington has over 800 new and used vehicles all in one location with everyday low prices. Plus, right now, save big with zero down and just $288 per month for a pre-owned 2023 Toyota Corolla. Or how about no payments till January 2026 and 60-day exchange. Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter-mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
You tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. Don't miss Renewal by Anderson's 30th anniversary sale. Buy one window or patio door and get one 30% off. Financing options are available and this offer expires June 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Feeling the Florida heat? Make sure your car's AC is ready with help from Big Chief Tire. Frangie here. Right now, get $50 off all AC services at any of their 5 Jacksonville locations. Whether it's a quick recharge or a full repair, their expert technicians will keep you cool and comfortable on the road. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your AC service today and take advantage of this limited one-time offer. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town, setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Now for a limited time, when you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Are you about to get married or been married for years thinking it's time for an upgrade? There's nothing that symbolizes your love more than the wedding band. Beard's has hundreds and hundreds of bands from top designers in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, pave set, eternity bands. And for men, masculine bands, wide, modern, with and without diamonds, hammered, brushed, engraved, lots of colors. Come to Beard's now and find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beard's can. And it's happening now through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol. Beard's Diamonds at St. John's Town Center.
We found the fix for the forgotten holiday. What are you talking about? Happy Father's Day. 1010XL has some great gift options from Beaches Dermatology, Kuhn Flowers, and the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp at 1010XL.com.
Prosser here. Get those boats ready. The Dailies Old School Kingfish Shootout presented by Yellowfin is almost here. It's Saturday, June 14th. Just go to oldschoolkingfish.com to find out more. The grand prize is a Yellowfin bay boat worth $125,000, and with limited boundaries, no bait buying, and no checkout, it is seriously old school. Here's how you do it. You go online, you sign up, and you become part of what was always a terrific tournament. It's the Old School Kingfish Shootout. oldschoolkingfish.com.
New year, new club. This is Joe C., and I'm proud to be a member of Southampton. And with the popularity of golf, getting a tee time is tough. But with membership comes member privileges. Enjoy clubhouse dining, expanded practice area, focusing on all parts of your game. And right now, you can join with an annual commitment and get a $1,000 discount, plus $500 of Pro Shop credit. All the details are online at golfsouthampton.com or call 287-PLAY and make a tee time today at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
June is Men's Health Month, and here's your reminder to be proactive and get screened for early detection at Ackerman Cancer Center. Many cancer instances are largely preventable and treatable. So take steps now to minimize your risk factors at AckermanCancerCenter.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
And the place I've been buying my car since 1982, about 41 years after that. Got out of college in 1980, had never bought a car by myself. My mom and my dad, I got my dad's car when he had passed away. I was 14. We kept it running. Some neighbors helped us for a couple years, drove that. Then my mom helped me buy a car when I was in college. 1982, bought my first car on my own, had no idea how to do it, and went to Nimnick. And Billy Nimnick Jr. showed me how to buy a car, helped me buy it, and God rest his soul, his son Billy Nimnick III runs it now, and they're great friends, and I'm very proud to be the spokesperson for the Nimnick family of dealerships. Nimnick Chevrolet's on Cassett, Nimnick Buick GMC's on Phillips Highway. They're still the best. They were the best in 1982, probably in 1941, and they're still the best. You want to buy an automobile, go to the best place in town. Go see my friends at the Nimnick family of dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet and Nimnick Buick GMC. We've talked some Jaguar football, Frangie and Carline with you. JJ LaSelva here as well. Brenton Strange is the topic of our conversation. A guy drafted high out of Penn State, a physical player, a very good blocker, but will he be able to catch enough passes? Will they target him enough? Will he be, because Evan Ingram, for all the ups and downs in the last 2 or 3 years, boy, he was a good pass catcher for this football team. He was a reliable pass catcher that you truly thought of him the same way you did a wide receiver. And I know Trevor Lawrence felt that way. Will he feel the same way and be able to feel the same way and be able to use Brenton Strange the same way? That's the question. Brenton Strange, the former Penn State star, the subject of this Hayes Carline one-on-one.
We are pleased to be joined with Jaguars tight end Brenton Strange here on 1010XL 92.5 FM, and it's great to see you. How's everything going?
It's going great. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Well, we certainly appreciate your time. How was the first mandatory minicamp practice for you?
It's been going good, man. I'm just coming out here every single day, me and all the guys, just putting one foot in front of the other, trying to find ways to get better and being detailed. So I'm super excited about where we're heading and where we're trending, and let's finish these last 2 practices off strong and come back, be ready for the season.
What gets you excited about how Liam uses the tight end?
I think what gets me excited the most is that he uses me in every single way I can be used. I'm going to be used as a pass catcher. I'm going to be used as a pass protection. I'm going to be used as run blocking. So that's my favorite thing about being a tight end is that you can be versatile, you can be involved in everything, but that comes with a lot, and that comes with a lot of details. So that's what we've been working on the most is just figuring out the details of everything and trying to be great.
You pleased with how you're picking everything up?
Yes, sir, I am. I think that I'm my biggest critic, so I think that I always can do better. But, yeah, I'm excited about where this is going.
Brent, you certainly had some great moments your first 2 years. As you had this offseason, what did you process in terms of things that you're doing well at this level and some things that from a technique standpoint you're still looking to improve?
I think my biggest thing the last 2 years has just been getting in and out of my breaks, running routes, moving, just running routes in general. So that's what I worked on the most this offseason. I actually worked with a receivers trainer for the first time, and it went great, man. I learned a lot, and I think it's transitioned well, and it's helped my feet out a lot.
Evan was certainly a pro's pro. Yep. What was it like working with Evan, being a teammate of his, and seeing how he went about his business?
Man, it's been one of my biggest blessings in my football career. I'll tell you the truth. Evan's a great player. Evan's done almost everything you can do as a tight end in this league, and I'm super thankful for it, man. And I'm super thankful for how he continues to help me and how, like I said, I worked with a receivers coach for the first time this year, and that was Evan's guy. So I'm thankful for everything that he's done for me, man. It's a big blessing.
What kind of growth are you seeing out of Trevor Lawrence?
Seen a lot of growth. You know, Trevor is one of the great players in this league, and we're all trying to be great. And I think that this offense gives him the ability to just be comfortable and give him all the answers. And that's what we need. We all need to be out there and playing fast, and I think that's what we're going to do.
You excited about what the ground game can produce?
Most definitely. I mean, we have great running backs. The whole running back room is very capable. So I'm excited, and I know that we're going to do great things when we keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Brenton, what's this receiver group like now with adding Travis, Brian coming off a phenomenal rookie year, and Diami really picking things up quick?
I think the one word that comes to mind when you think about all those guys is just electric, man. Those guys are capable of doing anything out on the football field. I mean, you see it. You got these guys out here making one-handed catches, and I think that just raises the level of everybody else on the team. That makes everybody else on the team want to be better and go harder.
Brenton, what's your routine once we get beyond this week of mandatory minicamp? What do you like to do in the 5-6 weeks before training camp opens?
Something that I like to do is just get a reset, man. The season's long, and I think that's the most important thing, is coming in spiritually, emotionally, and physically right. And if you don't do that, then you're in for trouble, because it's a 17-week season with training camp, and then you got the playoffs. So that's what I'm going to go do. Obviously, continue still working on the details of this playbook, working out. That never stops. But, yeah, man, it's just about getting your mind right, getting your body right, and being spiritually right.
How are you enjoying Jacksonville? Do you like the beach or fishing or golf, anything like that? How do you like the city?
I love Jacksonville, man. I'm from up north. It's cold, you know. I mean, obviously in the summer you get the summertime, but there's no better place than Jacksonville. It's always nice outside. I like going to the beach. I like fishing. I do it all, man. I love outdoor activities.
Brenton Strange, we certainly appreciate your time. Best of luck to you, and we'll certainly look forward to covering you this season.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate Brenton Strange's time after practice today. And again, first year here, rookie year, caught 5 passes. Last year, he caught 40. Well, if he jumps 35 receptions this year, I think everybody's going to be very happy with Brenton Strange being 75 receptions. That's not the expectation.
Right.
That would be above the expectation. But it just shows what a big jump I think he did make in his second year. Again, he's 24 years old and took advantage of more offensive snaps. He played 32% of the offensive snaps as a rookie, obviously limited to pretty much just being a blocker from that modest reception total. Last year, he played 56% of the offensive snaps. So, and had an 11-catch game against the New York Jets. So I think it's in there. Liam Cohen and Grant Udisky voiced today, they think absolutely he is the right guy at this spot for them. And it's going to be exciting to see, because he's really not, again, as you start to piece this thing together, like how do the Jaguars get to 11 wins, let's say? He's not a guy that I think is on the front burner of a guy that's got to have a huge year, but he is capable of having the huge year. And if he has that huge year, then what does that do in terms of taking some of the pressure off of, the guys where the expectations are probably a little bit heavier?
Yeah, I think where my question is, and I said it before the break, is he projects to me as a inline tight end, not a move tight end. That's what I think when I see him. Yet the 2 tight ends they brought in free agency, Hunter Long and Johnny Munt, I get the sense are the same guy.
Yeah.
So it almost
they've caught way less passes than Brenton.
So it almost makes me think there's 3 inline tight ends. Well, one's got to be the off-the-line move tight end. And if indeed you have one of those, which you got in 2 tight end sets, you're going to have 2 of those, or so one of those. Brenton Strange now projects to be that guy. Again, before it was the reality, by the way, when you saw the depth chart last year, he was the 3rd tight end. You realize that? I mean, it was Evan Ingram was the move tight end, and Luke Farrell was the blocking tight end. Brenton Strange really was the 3rd guy. Now, he played a lot, and they played a lot of them, and they used him in I formations almost as a fullback. But think about it, Hayes. He was not the starting big physical tight end. That was Luke Farrell, and he obviously wasn't the move tight end. That was Evan Ingram. So he could play. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see the role he had. I don't know that I can tell you definitively, no matter what I think. And again, we're not going to tell you how they're lining up now. That's not our place. But I'll be interested to see where he lines up when they start playing other teams. Will he be a move tight end? Will he be an inline? Will he be both? Will he be the only tight end in the game? I'm very intrigued. Will they split him out at all? I'm very intrigued to see how that happened. I knew that answer with Luke Farrell. He was an inline tight end blocking people. I knew that answer with Evan Ingram. He was the move tight end. He was rarely on the line of scrimmage. I'll be interested to see the way it happens with Brenton Strange.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the more dynamic aspects of this offense, is to see how that tight end is deployed in terms of Brenton Strange, because he doesn't give away what you're doing. If Brenton Strange is in the game, if you're a defensive coordinator, that doesn't tip the Jaguars' hand in terms of, well, is this probably a pass or a run? Because he can do both at a high level. And so it will be fun seeing how Brenton Strange is incorporated. Again, Brian Thomas Jr. ideally is going to catch 110 passes.
Right.
Travis Hunter is ideally going to catch 75 passes. De'Ami Brown is ideally going to catch 50 passes. So that doesn't leave you with
a lot of tight end catches.
Left. So if Brenton Strange can get to like 50, 60, that will feel like an incredibly big role in the offense.
Other guys who stood out, Tyson Campbell had a nice day today. He was in coverage a lot on Brian Thomas Jr. He certainly had a nice day today. The linebackers looked active to me today. They look like I get a hunch there might be. This is no knock on Chad Muma, who's still on the team and obviously hopes to make the team and be a factor. But when Chad Muma is your third or fourth linebacker, I'm not sure you look as athletic as I think they do now. Jack Kaiser is very athletic. He and Ventrell Miller is very athletic. So I thought the linebackers showed some movement today. Fred Johnson, if I haven't told you this or not, let me tell you again, he's big. That is one big man. Mason Smith's big. It almost looks like he got taller, didn't it?
It does.
He looked big. He looked bigger to me.
I guess it's possible he was only 3 years in college, so Mason is probably just still like 21, 22.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you can still be growing at that age.
They list Mason at 6'5", 306. I'm like you. He feels bigger than that.
Looks like 6'6", 6'7".
He does. He really does.
Yeah.
He comes off as really tall, so he's big. Tyler Lacey, I thought, has some activity. That group is going to be interesting. That group of defensive tackles is going to be very interesting to see, to your point, how they're deployed. But I thought all those guys kind of stood out for me today. As for Travis Hunter, you didn't see a lot. He played a lot of defense. He went through drills on defense. He went through team drills on with the defense. But it seems to me, and it's true, by the way, but I think you could almost tell it, that there's probably more work to do on the defensive side. The good news is, if you're thinking about Travis Hunter, the defender, the good news is there's less to learn. Offensive schemes are way more complicated than defensive schemes. The downside is most of his time, it appears, have been on offense. So it's forget about the physicality or the endurance to play both. It's learning both. That's you're learning two different schemes. I think that's a big part of it. We probably haven't talked about enough. Everyone's thought about his endurance. Will your body hold up? If this is the National Football League, how many plays will your body allow you to play on both sides of the ball? But we haven't thought about, you got to learn, football has to be instinctive. You can't, if you're thinking, you're in trouble. So that'll be interesting to see the way that plays out as well, I think.
I thought it was intriguing watching him sort of go through the workout because, he on offense, he has a definitive role.
Correct.
He has a major role.
He's one
offense.
of the three receivers, no question.
Yeah, defensively, you can tell they're still in the working him in phase, and you can tell sort of by which unit he's going in with that it feels more experimental on the defensive side than it does on the offensive side. On the offensive side, it's very deliberate. He is a massive part of what they're doing.
Correct.
On the defensive side, it does feel like it's still in that launching point of what do we have here? How are we going to do this?
Yeah.
And is he going to be able to handle doing it? Now, he seemed fine today. Again, I pretty much spent most of the time watching the defense, and it didn't look like he needed a ton of extra instruction.
Agreed.
When he was out there, it didn't seem like he was, missing his assignment. And so, I think but it does feel like I think offensively, he's already in another solar system. That rocket ship is on its way to the Dagobah system. The defensive.
Hang on, where's it going?
Yeah, the Dagobah system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Wow. Wow.
It's where Yoda lives.
Wow.
But the defensive rocket
It's
ship.
all downhill from now.
We can still see like Cape Canaveral.
Okay.
On the defensive rocket ship, I think.
Okay.
But.
First of all, I agree with everything you said until I stopped understanding what you were saying. Okay.
Yeah, which I understand.
That's very good, but you're right about it. It's going to be fun watching Travis Hunter. Let's take a break. When we come back, I'm going to keep it on the NFL. Hayes has a hammer time that's NFL related, and I've got some other NFL thoughts. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
You know Dan Hicken.
Keep it simple, stupid.
And you know Jeff Prosser.
Let's talk about this plan of yours. I think it's good, except it sucks.
Mornings on the Drill.
So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
On 1010XL.
Storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracts. Save 15% on roof replacements and repairs now through June 30th. And financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Okay, here we go with our final lightning round on Potty Talk. Top 3 answers on the board. Ready? Okay. The best way to save money when your faucets or pipes are leaking.
Roland Reese Plumbing.
Something to help you avoid clogged sewers and drains.
Roland Reese Plumbing.
The technical term for that ba-whoosh sound when a toilet flushes correctly.
Roland Reese Plumbing.
Roland Reese Plumbing is always the right answer. Roland Reese Plumbing, 260-7059.
Hi, it's Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great, great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Frank Frangie here. I was talking to a buddy the other day. His HOA told him his old fence had to go. I said, man, call Coil Fencing. They've been around the block since 1927. Heck, they probably built half the fences in Jacksonville. They do it all. Tough chain link for security. Those fancy aluminum ones the HOA actually likes. Nearly a century of keeping yards safe and looking good. If you need a fence, call Coil. You can trust the folks at Coil. 904-356-4821 or visit CoilJacks.com. COYLE Jacks.com.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 3:20 for the latest in sports injuries. From all the big names in the game, who's MIA, who's coming back from injury. Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 3:20.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialist for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialist take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Let's start with some cold, hard truth. Here's why Awaken 180 Weight Loss is your road to freedom. It's fast, it's easy, it's safe. You're not shooting chemicals into your body every week. You're eating real food every single day. You're not listening to an overpriced celebrity tell you about magical new food or asking you to count points or calories. You're just eating food and losing weight. It's that simple with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know what else you're doing while losing weight with Awaken 180? Eliminating pain, fitting into clothes you haven't worn in years, sleeping through the night and waking up refreshed and energized and happy. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and Hacker lost more than 110 over the course of a year. It's a life-changing road to freedom. Doesn't matter what your goal weight is, Awaken 180 Weight Loss will get you there quickly and safely, a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180. Give them a call, 844-346-1800, or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Yo, Jacksonville, Hickens hype. Checkmate Coatings crushes it with floors I'd put in my own pad.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. We coat it all. Garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Rush to checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
You would think after years of being ridiculed as the cheapest organization in the NFL, the Cincinnati Bengals would get their act together, but instead they continue to show what an absolute joke they are when it comes to their financials and how they treat players. Cincinnati took Shamar Stewart 17th overall in this past draft, and because of Mike Brown, the owner, and his daughter Katie Blackburn's insistence on offset language on this case, something that they have not asked for with previous draft picks, Shamar Stewart remains unsigned and is not working out. It's one thing to be unsigned, but that doesn't mean you can't work out. But it has gotten so contentious because of what Cincinnati wants Shamar Stewart's side to basically concede that he is not working out with the club. This is a Super Bowl contender whose flaw is a porous defense. You invested a first-round pick in this edge rusher, and you've yet to see him on the field because you were worried about some possible contingency that might cost you a little bit of money down the road. It is typical Cincinnati Bengals. I feel sorry for Joe Burrow. This is not a serious organization.
And it'll be very interesting to see how all this stuff plays out. Trey Hendrickson and this, and they didn't pay Joe Mixon. It's a very interesting story that usually NFL teams in a cap league usually don't cheat their way out. They do some, you know what I mean? But it's very unusual when there's a floor and a cap for something like this to happen over and over and over with the same team, which it has with the Bengals. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. Let's talk some other NFL issues as well. Very good point. Some points well made. Aaron Rodgers getting 1 year, $13.65 million. Is that lower than you would have expected?
Well, certainly. I mean, I think if he had wanted to, I mean, he didn't have a lot of leverage.
I thought in the 20s somewhere.
Yeah, I think had there been more contenders for his services, then it could have gotten much higher. But my guess is, I mean, if Pittsburgh had said thanks but no thanks, and there's reports saying that he was like plan C for them.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't going to be Pittsburgh, he may have just been, he may have had the embarrassment when you're an elite player of still wanting to play and not having a spot.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would, and Pittsburgh does spend, and so they probably are somewhat trying to manage a cap. So, you know, it was probably best for both sides. But yeah, it's a small amount. If he plays
by NFL standard
at an elite level, it'll be one of the best bargains this season in the league.
I mean, again, he had 28 touchdowns and 11 picks last year. Those are pretty good numbers for, I don't care how old you are, so it'll be interesting to see. I really wonder what's going to happen with Anthony Richardson. Again, he'd be the easiest guy in the world to root for if he wasn't in the division, our team's division. If he was playing in the NFC West, you know, if he was somewhere else, because by all accounts, he's a wonderful kid and he played at Florida and he's a Gator. But I can't help but wonder, I'm not trying to knock him, I'm just giving you my honest take on this guy. I can't help but wonder now if it's going to end one day for Anthony Richardson and we're going to have never seen him. We're going to have never seen healthy Anthony Richardson because so far, a couple years into an NFL career, after a college career, Hayes, we've never seen him healthy. We've literally never. We've seen a few games where he's healthy, but we've never seen him healthy. And he's criticized a lot for his low passing or completion percentage. He's got apparently the shoulder injury is really serious.
He's getting a second opinion
on it. And to that end, we had this conversation when it came up with DJ Lagway. You just don't see throwing shoulders in quarterbacks very often be a problem. You might injure your shoulder. Football's a physical sport. But he's starting to wonder now if it's ever, or is he going to be one of these guys that on his third team at age 29, he's going to get thrust into action without any pressure and then might be pretty good. I just wonder if that's where we're headed here.
I think it's more that he doesn't know how to play the position. Then the health is certainly a concern, and that's something that I would think over time he will eventually get healthy. Matt Stafford had injury issues early in his career in Detroit, and everybody wondered, will Matt Stafford ever be able to be healthy and finish a season? And ultimately he's been able to be very durable. It was just sort of a bad couple years of luck for him when it came to injuries. So let's say that Anthony Richardson let's say this ends up being a fairly minor thing. He's able to compete in training camp. He wins the job over Daniel Jones. I think those are unlikely, but let's say it happens. I just don't know that he knows how to play. Now, to that point, because of his athleticism, I think he will get he certainly will get another team whenever it ends with Indianapolis. Anthony Richardson will get signed somewhere, whether it's whether he gets traded or whether he gets cut and signed somewhere else, who knows. But yeah, I think he will get an opportunity, and then that's where, does he do enough with that opportunity, even maybe as a backup, to then get, is there good word of mouth? An assistant goes to another spot and then endorses him and says, hey, this is a guy we should bring in. He's starting to figure it out. Yeah, I mean, he could be a late bloomer in terms of NFL success because as an athlete, he's an A+. And if he can ever even get to just being a C+ from a, mental acumen of playing the quarterback position and the instincts that requires, then he can be effective. But, I mean, in watching him, we've seen him now in 15 games in the NFL spread out over 2 years, and there just isn't anything consistent that you can hang your hat on to say this is the start of a quality player in the NFL. He has moments where the athleticism shines through, but I just don't think that he can, over a 17-game season, consistently give you the production you need in terms of running the offense, running a clean operation, and being able to anticipate what the defense is throwing at him. So, I think even if he gets healthy, those are still major issues for Anthony Richardson. And obviously, we hope he does get healthy. But, even that's been a difficult chore for him, even dating back to his days in college in terms of being available.
Yeah, it really, the whole thing, I don't know what it is. I just think it's going to end, Hayes. And part of it is learning how to play the position. That's the biggie. But in the completion percentage, which might be the same thing, or might just be...
It's 50.6, by the way.
50. Yeah. Last year he was in the 40s. His career is 50.
Yeah, his career last year he was 47.7.
Yeah. He was in the 40s last year. So, in an era where 61's bad. Think about it. In an era, if you're not 66, 67, people think something's the matter. His last year was in the 40s.
It's unheard of.
Yeah. And so I just wonder if you're going to look up and Anthony Richardson's going to be, golly, just never, because I don't sense he's going to go play another position. I don't think he's that guy. He's not. No matter how big and strong and fast he is, he doesn't strike me as, okay, move him to tight end. Does he? You? I just don't see it.
I think he's made so much money being selected 4th overall.
He doesn't have to, right?
That I just think he'll be like, all right, it didn't work out, and I'll go live my life. I don't see him switching. But
I think there's a lot of quarterbacks that even when it's not working for them early on, there's enough in there that you expect that it's going to eventually. I don't know that I'm there with him. I just don't know. I still think Daniel Jones is in there, who he's competing with for the starting job in Indianapolis. I think enough's in there. I can see Daniel Jones looking up and all of a sudden he's Geno Smith or Sam Darnold. I can see that.
And I think that's your point. It's like in 3 years, is Anthony Richardson at the level where Daniel Jones is today?
Right.
Where another club is saying, all right, we'll try it and see. Because,
I don't think he is. I don't think he is either. I don't think he's going to be.
I mean, look at Trey Lance. I mean, Trey Lance was selected 3rd overall in the 2021 draft. He's started 5 games. I mean, the league has moved on. I mean, it didn't work out in San Francisco after they not only picked him. I mean, the Colts at least just took him at 4. I don't think they traded up to get Richardson. I think they just naturally had the 4th pick. The 49ers had to move up to 3 to get Trey Lance. And then obviously in that same draft, took Brock Purdy, and that worked out. But, I mean, the league just moved off of Trey Lance. He's now with the Chargers, but he's never going to start there in terms of that being the plan. So, yeah, it could just be that whenever – I think a lot of it's going to depend on the coaches that have worked in Indianapolis for the previous 2 seasons that are now spread out in the league, or even if they're not in the league, they're still just a phone call away. It's a very close coaching fraternity. If Anthony Richardson doesn't get positive reviews, then it'll be like, yeah, somebody will sign him to maybe be like the 3rd guy. If people rave about him in terms of the quality of the person and the work ethic, then, maybe a team will put him in, a competition with an older veteran, maybe a rookie quarterback, something like that. But I mean, to me, it seems like it's more likely he's just going to be Trey Lance and just sort of disappear without really ever having much of an impact in the league.
Yeah, I hope he finds it with some team somewhere. But it's hard not to wonder what he is. Final thought: Kirk Cousins. You told me yesterday you thought he may stay in Atlanta. That's a really interesting storyline for me. I do not think he'll be on the Atlanta Falcons. Yet he's at minicamp. He reported to minicamp. I just somehow think in this era where you can't find a quarterback at all, that's a waste if he's on the bench somewhere. Don't you feel that way? Do you feel that way?
I think Atlanta has really handled it poorly, really, from the start. I think in where does it go from here? Atlanta needs an injury to occur. No one else is, now that Rodgers is with the Steelers, I mean, maybe Cleveland, but even Cleveland feels like they've got 4 guys.
Yeah,
I mean, they've got,
I agree.
they know what they have.
They're not going to get Kirk Cousins.
They even Kenny Pickett, they may believe has a little bit of upside. He's still a young guy. He hasn't played that much in the league. And then you drafted 2 quarterbacks.
Right.
But Cleveland's the one that would make the most sense in terms of, obviously Kirk Cousins is your best option.
Even more than the Saints?
I just don't think the Saints are really, I don't think they're
not good enough
this.
to care.
I don't think they're good enough to care.
Yeah.
And the other thing too with Atlanta is it's like, would you want to trade him in the division?
Right, you said that.
So that complicates it. I think in the first 3 weeks of the NFL season, a starter is going down. Right. It's just,
they make the deal.
And then I think at that point they make the deal.
It's just a very odd circumstance. No question.
It's incredibly odd. Well, who would have signed him?
Right.
And then drafted a quarterback in the top 10 of a draft a month later?
Well, right.
I mean, who possibly would have thought that's a good idea?
Right. And my guess is you had competing people in the building. One said, I want Kirk Cousins. Someone else said, I want Michael Penix. So we'll get them both. But it's no question. It's very odd. Let's take a break. I want to get to some hardball when we come back. We got an hour to go. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
From pit road to victory lane.
He'll bypass him on the back straightaway.
Sunday in Mexico City.
That should be all she wrote.
Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower. 1010XL.
Ray Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be an 8-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit NimnickChevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. I've been buying my vehicles from Nimnick since 1982 because they care about their customers and are invested in our local community, including supporting walk-off charities, and all we're trying to do to help underprivileged kids learn to play baseball. Treating you right, giving back to the community, more choices and better prices for you. So who has put the most years and stands behind a better experience? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Visit their showroom off Cassett Avenue or shop 24/7 at NimnickChevy.com. Head to Nimnick today. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie. If you have a sweet tooth like me, the sweetest desserts in town come from Spoonful Bakery. Spoonful is an online bakery. They deliver boxes of assorted desserts right to your home or office. They're so good, and they make for great gifts for friends or clients. And if you want custom orders, wedding cakes or birthday cakes, or catered desserts for an event, they are the best. Log on to spoonful-bakery.com or call them at 904-515-4984. That's Spoonful Bakery for the sweetest desserts in town.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like EVO implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Like to learn how to fly an airplane? Well, you're not alone. High Flying Jacko here, inviting you to listen Sunday morning. We'll start your aviation career with a 60-minute ride on the airwaves of 1010XL. The High Flying Show, Sunday at 9 on 1010XL.
June is Men's Health Month. Be proactive towards your prostate, ED, low T, even kidney stones with Ackerman Urology. Offices in Mandarin, Middleburg, the Beaches, and World Golf Village. Trust the men's health experts at AckermanUrology.com.
The Poker Atlas Tour is blazing its way through Best Bet St. Augustine now through June 15th. Get in on the action with 7 poker events, highlighted by Event 1 with an impressive $100,000 guarantee, and the $600 No Limit Hold'em title event, boasting a $200,000 guaranteed prize pool. Join us at Best Bet St. Augustine for the Poker Atlas Poker Tour. Head to bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
To the T here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes through in the clutch? From lunch to late night, only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Stick around after the sunset, and Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites. Come on, somebody.
Plumbing problems? AC not blowing? Septic tank doing whatever septic tanks do? Don't call 3 different companies and play contractor roulette. Just call Duck Rooter. We handle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning all under one roof. That's one call, one company, and one bill that won't give you a heart attack. For fast, reliable, and slightly ducky service, call 904-862-6769 or waddle over to duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com, powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
Find the middle of the fairway with your drives. Get the golf tips and talk to keep you straight.
That's a great tee shot.
On the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. With a 6-1 win as the series gets welcomed back to South Florida, Panthers made a statement in Game 3 that will leave the Oilers desperately searching for a way to turn things around. Just 56 seconds into last night's game, it was the Rat Brad Marchand who found the back of the net as the Panthers put their foot on the gas and never backed off. Marchand's goal marked his 4th of the series as he became the oldest player to score in each of the first 3 Stanley Cup final games at 37. As time expired, the Oilers let emotion and frustrations get under their skin. The Panthers had 11 power play chances, and late in the third, Edmonton pulled some dirty plays that started an all-out brawl. With the Oilers in shambles after Game 3, the Panthers are 1 game closer. Last night's victory also marked head coach Paul Maurice's 1,000th career victory. It's 83 degrees at 5:01. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
We thank our friends from the Nimnick Family Dealerships. Billy Nimnick, Lee Nimnick, that wonderful family. Our friend Lauren Dozier. They're all involved together, and you know what? It's a great family. I've been trusting them since the early 80s, and I'll continue to buy my cars there, my trucks there. It's the place for trucks, by the way. It's always truck season at Nimnick. Head to Nimnick Chevrolet on Cass at Nimnick Buick GMC on Phillips Highway. So, looking at these numbers from Aaron Judge, you know by now the batting average stuff, right? He is batting .396. The next closest is Jacob Wilson, who's .366.
Wow.
He's 30 points clear of the field. Home runs, he's got 23. He doesn't lead baseball in home runs. Cal Raleigh, by the way, a catcher for Seattle, who's a former Florida State player who's having a career year, has 26 home runs. But I got thinking about this. If all this continues, he's not going to hit 400. But, JJ, he might hit 375, right? I mean, would that shock you if he hit?
No.
Yeah.
There's no way. No. That's not happening. I think he'll probably dip below 350 by the end of the year.
Okay, so he might hit 350. All right, so let's say 350. Nobody hits 350 anymore.
That's what I'm saying. I think 335, that's sort of where I expect him to finish this year.
So let's say he does. Well, let's say he's a third of the way through the season now, okay?
His career high is 322.
Yeah, so let's say he hits whatever it is. It's 375, 350, 340. Well, it's
amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering, and let's say for kicks, Shohei Ohtani, the Dodgers and the Yankees get there again. And this year the Yankees win. Just as we're having a conversation here. Is this the closest? And again, by the way, Ohtani, for the record, is having a big year too. He's hitting 291 with 23 home runs and 39 ribs. Judge is 23 home runs, 55 ribs, and he's hitting 396. The only other guy that's having anything like that is Cal Raleigh, who most people haven't heard of. I've heard of Cal Raleigh because he played at Florida State. He was a really good catcher there. He's having a stupid year. He's 26. He's at 26 home runs and 53 ribs, but he's never had a year anything like this. So Judge and Ohtani they're the best hitters, best players in baseball. If they get there again, and particularly if the Yankees win, is this the closest we've had to Bird and Magic? Is it the closest we've had to Bradshaw, Staubach, Montana, Marino? I mean, baseball hasn't had that.
What about McGuire Sosa?
Sosa certainly.
That literally saved baseball.
You know, you're right. That was a home run. You're right. Great point. That was wasn't. It didn't last very long, and it was marred.
I just remember as a kid, it was everything.
Yeah, and
that rivalry was huge. When I was like 7 or 8, I guess, and then when they broke the record, I think I was 9, maybe.
So I'll give you that. So maybe it's the closest thing to Bird Magic since McGuire Sosa. That's a good comparison. It doesn't have to be the only one.
I agree with that.
But you're talking world championship pursuit, not necessarily a record pursuit.
Bird and Magic were playing for the title.
Correct.
Yeah, these guys, last year they played for the title, and if they play for the title again, and they're super marketable. They're both. I mean, even Shohei, who doesn't speak the language, is in a bunch of commercials. Judge wears number 99, a very distinctive number.
And it's the Yankees.
And it's the pinstripes, man. I think baseball, this is just spectacular, I guess, for baseball, because we haven't seen a lot like this really in any sport.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the only thing lacking is you need Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani to publicly hate each other. And start, trading verbal barbs.
Right.
And then that would be the missing ingredient to really having everybody paying attention to, to the rivalry.
Well, hopefully Ohtani's pitching by the World Series, and they could easily face each other.
That would be
multiple times.
Is that the word, by the way? That
he's already throwing. So I would assume
imagine
you give him
Game
a few
7.
months. Yeah.
And here comes Ohtani versus Judge. It'll be similar to wasn't it World Baseball Classic where Ohtani and Trout faced off against each other, and that was like this massive moment.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, imagine that, but times 100
in the World Series,
yeah,
right?
And that's a great point. But even Bird and Magic didn't cover each other. They just both did spectacular things when they had the ball, and that's kind of the situation here. I mean, I just think there's so much. Man, I'm watching the Yankees Red Sox the other day, and the Red Sox probably blew them out because they scored a bunch of runs. But Judge hits 2 home runs. And JJ, he made it look ridiculously easy. Did you watch that?
I didn't, but I heard the rookie pitcher for the Red Sox had something slick to say about him before the game, and of course he went yard.
Said I would never play for the Yankees, but
I love that.
But I mean, the home run in the first inning, Hayes, it was on the outside half. It almost looked like he was just trying to foul it off, and he went oppo to right center field. And it's just and I
so strong, so big. He's got a sweet swing. So if he makes contact, and then he plays in Yankee Stadium, which is a joke of a park. So if he makes any slight, contact whatsoever that's going in the outfield, it's a homer.
Yeah, and again, he's not left-handed. Where obviously that's where
the most beautiful swings.
Yeah, but and it's also Yankee Stadium where the short porch there. But he's 6'7", 280. Ohtani's 6'3", 210, which is a big baseball player. I just think we're on. I hope they keep going. I will say this. Given the outside chance that the Pittsburgh Baseball Club in this year 147 is probably not going to be in the World Series, I hope the Yankees and the Dodgers play in the World Series again. I hope because I just think baseball has momentum. JJ, you and I talked about this the other day. Baseball has momentum. I'm not sure why, how specifically.
I think last year's World Series probably helped a lot.
Probably did. And as much as I whine about the salary cap stuff, and I will forever, I can't deny that baseball has momentum, and I think these two guys, Hayes, are a big part of it.
Do you still have your Yankees cap?
I don't know. I borrowed that.
He was a Yankees fan for about 2 weeks 1 year.
This is they were playing the Rays, and Lauren Brooks was the Rays
That's
fan.
right. I couldn't remember the reason you bought
a hat.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I bought a hat.
He wore a Yankees hat for a couple of shows.
I actually borrowed it from our next-door neighbor who doesn't anymore, and showed up and wore it just to annoy Lauren. and I literally did a whole show with the Yankees hat on it. So
it would be fantastic for the sport. I mean, obviously, you couldn't draw it up any better if you're Rob Manfred. I mean, it's to have the Yankees, Dodgers, regardless of who their stars are. I mean, it's just, but certainly when you add, even generational doesn't do it justice for Shohei Ohtani because he's doing something that no one has done in 100 years or however long it's been. And Aaron Judge, the other thing that's going to start helping Judge is he's a 2-time MVP. He's probably going to be a 3-time MVP. But he's starting to get, the home run numbers are starting to be very gaudy, which attracts the general sports fan.
That's a great point.
Aaron Judge is 12 home runs away from 350. Well, that's, you're starting to get to some pretty hollowed ground when you get to, he's 3 really great years away from, immortality when it comes to, home runs. But that's a big time number. And he's been a big-time player for so long now. So, the general public that's not a diehard baseball fan, they know Aaron Judge. And so, yeah, I think it would be spectacular. I mean, I don't want the Yankees to get there, but
amen to that.
If I worked in Major League Baseball, I'd be hoping for Yankees-Dodgers.
I just find myself thinking that there is a buzz about it. So then I got thinking, okay, are there other players that are contributing to the buzz? And I don't think there are. There's other good players. There's other good teams. I mean, obviously, Kyle Schwarber's a great home run hitter. This guy, Pete Crow Armstrong, for the Cubs is one of the better players in baseball.
The Mets really wanted Soto to be that guy.
Right, correct. And Soto's very good. Pete Alonso's very good. Great call on Soto. That's exactly what they wanted. But he's a very good player. Pete Alonso's a very good player. There's a lot of guys that Ronald Acuna was headed there before the injuries, right? There's a lot of guys that were.
He's back, by the way.
No, I know.
He's so good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, back to being a great player again. And unfortunately, Skeens is on the Pirates. Because he's so marketable and such a great pitcher.
That's a great point. And the only other guy that gets, if you talk to common person, the baseball players, you know their names the most. Skeens is probably third.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably third.
I got friends of mine that don't care about baseball whatsoever that text me about Paul Skeens.
Is he the best pitcher in baseball?
He's the best pitcher in baseball. His 188, he's the best pitcher. I'm telling you, I've watched a lot of baseball over the years.
Scooble's up there. It's close.
Tarek Scooble's very good, but I watched a lot of baseball over the years. Watching him pitch, it's almost comical. It's really almost like watching Maddox, Clemens, those guys when they were unhittable. So anyway, we'll to me, I just wonder if this and as much as I love Skeens, obviously Skeens plays on a lousy team. The Judge and Ohtani both play on these really good teams. I just think there's a momentum, there's a magic bird to it. You're right, that's a good call. There's a McGuire Sosa to it. There's something there that's exciting about watching baseball. It really, really is exciting. It is, and it has been for long. By the way, speaking of Maddox, I got to tell you, did you hear the story, JJ, that Eddie Perez told about Maddox?
No.
Okay, Eddie Perez, for people that don't know, was the backup catcher to Javi Lopez. If you followed the Braves all those years, Javi Lopez was the catcher, a really good player, and Eddie Perez was the backup catcher. He might have been Maddox's personal catcher.
He was.
I think he was. Okay, so he was the personal catcher. So,
Javi Lopez would hit like 25 home runs a year, and Eddie Perez would bat 208.
He's terrible, but whenever Maddox pitched, he was playing.
But did you hear the Bagwell story?
No.
This was one of the best stories I've ever heard.
By the way, before you tell this, Greg Maddox / Barry Bonds stories on YouTube, I could watch them all freaking day.
Yeah,
they're amazing.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maddox would say, it was easy to pitch to. Just walk him.
I love that one.
He says, it was hard. No, it wasn't hard to pitch.
But yeah, when other people tell stories about Maddox, it's like the best.
But this is the one, and I'm gonna get it wrong because I just watched this video clip. So I'm going to get it a little bit wrong, but it's one of the most amazing stories I've heard. You all know the stories. Maddox could do whatever he wanted. He was a magician with the ball. You all know that. So they're playing the Astros, okay? And it might have been when the Astros were still in the National League, I think. So they're playing the Astros, and they're facing Bagwell, okay? And Bagwell, you didn't want to miss you didn't want to miss down and into Bagwell. That was his sweet spot, okay? So Bagwell's 0 for whatever. So it's late in the year, and they're both winning their divisions. They're both really good, okay? So Maddox calls Eddie Perez out to the mound. Says 0-2, and he's throwing him these sliders that he can't touch. His Bagwell's one of the best hitters in baseball, can't touch. He says, all right, it's 0-2. We're going fastball down and in. Okay. Perez goes, Greg, that's his sweet spot. We're going fastball down and in. And Perez goes, listen, I don't disagree with you very often, But we can't go fastball down and in to Bagwell. Everybody knows he's one of the best hitters in baseball. He's one of the batters, blah, 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 blah. Maddox says, that's what we're doing. So Perez says he runs back behind the plate, shaking his head. Can't believe it. Puts down 1, fastball down, and then Maddox throws it. Bagwell hits it in the upper deck. Astros win. And Perez is pissed. He's totally pissed. And game ends, blah, 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 game ends. Season ends. Both win their divisions. Go to the playoffs. Yep. I think it's the NLCS, something.
NLDS 1999, probably.
Here comes Bagwell. Biggest moment of the year in baseball. Gets up there, bottom of the ninth or whatever the moment is. He's looking fastball down and in. Maddox strikes him out with a slider. Braves win. And it's one of the greatest stories I've ever heard.
Chestnut checkers.
He was setting him up for the playoffs 2 months later. It's the most incredible story I've ever heard. And you got to hear Eddie Perez tell the story. He purposely threw him a fastball knowing he was going to hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
Or no, is that amazing?
It is amazing. The only thing I've ever heard that's comparable is Ed Reed talking about how, I think Peyton Manning tells the story, but Ed Reed played a coverage a certain way in the regular season, and because he played it deliberately wrong in the regular season meeting, when the Colts and Ravens played in the playoffs, Reed played it correctly and got the interception, and
he baited him into it.
Did something wrong on purpose in the regular season, knowing that the maniac that Peyton Manning was would know to go back to it the next time they saw him, which could have easily been in the playoffs, and it ended up being in the playoffs. That's a great story.
I mean, I'm watching, and seeing Eddie Perez tell this. It's on one of the Braves documentary things on the Braves. So, anyways, amazing story. I never heard it before. It's fantastic. Let's take a break. Hey, it says headlines after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
School's out for summer. More time for 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and my knee was getting worse, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Watch the Stanley Cup Final at the brand new Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo. Specials include $1 wings and $3 drafts for the Stanley Cup Final at Front Runners Tap House.
Hacker here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Look, the summer has arrived. Memorial Day is in the rearview mirror. It's vacation season for me, and over the next couple of weeks, whether it's a cruise, going out to Las Vegas, I'm going to bust out the tank tops, man. I'm going to show off the bod a little bit. Now, would I have done that 100 pounds ago? Of course not, but thanks to the great folks at Awaken 180 Weight Loss, I really have a new lease on life. It's life changing. I'm in the maintenance program now, doing really well, right? The weight is not coming back on. That's almost as rewarding, if not a little more rewarding. It's one thing to lose the weight. It's something else to keep it off. I've been able to do that with the great folks of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. If it's time in your life to make that change like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. If I can do it, you can do it. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Zero Res. They want to help you clean your home or business. Big summer savings with 3 rooms clean starting at $129 and 20% off your air duct cleaning. Call them 904-287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special.
Fish know where to hide. Captain Kevin knows how to find them.
That's a big one.
Listen for the Wing Power Fishing Forecast Show, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Out here, you'll find a community of hardworking creators with loyal followers, along with proud moments worth sharing. And farm to table, well, that's just supper. And whether it's a raised garden bed, acres of land, or something for your animals, we've got all the supplies and are happy to share a little know-how.
Welcome to Tractor Supply. Into life out here.
Spring has sprung, and so have the bugs. It's Hayes Carline, and my friends at Kingfish Pest Control offer an exclusive $99 spring special. That's right, your initial pest control service is just $99. And if you call today, they'll include a free one-time mosquito treatment. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned, 5-star rated with no binding contracts, and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call them now to book your service. Only at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Hi, folks. It's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's Glass. Those beautiful custom glass shower enclosures, maybe a new mirror, a glass tabletop. They can even replace your foggy or cracked glass without having to replace the whole window. Lee and Kate's is local. They're family-owned. They've been a part of our community since 1926. Boy, they've taken care of me, including our brand new offices at Walk-Off Charities. They did a great job. I promise they'll do the same for you. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here, as is JJ LaSelva. I'm Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we're going to start with the Jaguars. Mandatory minicamp day 1 in the books. The quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, is okay, everybody. He has a sleeve on his arm for a little bit of soreness, but he was throwing the ball deep down the field today and certainly didn't seem to exhibit anything that Jaguar fans should be remotely concerned
Yeah,
about.
players wear sleeves all the time. They wear sleeves on their knees. They wear sleeves on their arms to tighten it up a little bit. Trevor's fine. Looked good today, too, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. Liam Cohen talked after practice with reporters and said that this week is important in terms of escalating the competition factor in these practices.
Just a little bit uptick in the competition. Just trying to put them in some more game-like situations, whereas maybe the majority of OTAs, even though we do situational football every day, it's typically in a jog-through setting, a little bit slower paced. We've been mainly operating either off of a script or call it periods of, first down, second down, third down, red zone, but went a little bit more specific today in the red zone with like 3rd and 10 on the 10, 3rd and 7 on the 7. Those gotta have it type situations, and then obviously ended with some 2-minute work as well. So trying to simulate a little bit more game-like competition, game-like situations, put them in some more pressure, let the mind go a little bit more as the fatigue starts to set in, and try to create as much sameness as we can to a game.
Yeah, 2 things. Number one, you're in a competitive sport, so it's okay to compete every now and then, which I like. Number 2, Hayes, you have to keep your players from getting bored, too. And I think that's what you got to make it fun for them, too. I think both those things are at play.
Absolutely. Let's get it to around the NFL as 3 key veterans decided to not participate in the mandatory minicamp. J.J. Watt in Pittsburgh. That's very interesting. I said J.J. I meant T.J.
Yeah.
T.J. Watt in Pittsburgh. Just nightmares of J.J. Watt against the Jaguars coming to fruition there. Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati also skipping. And Terry McLaurin in Washington, unhappy with his contract.
Yeah, all guys that want a new deal. Some that don't have a deal, some that want a new deal. But, with those 3 guys, they're going to be there and they're going to play. I think if you're a fan of that team in that city, you're worried about it. But I think looking from the periphery on the outside, because it's not our team, my guess is all 3 of those guys probably show up and play and have good years.
Denver continues to remake their running back room. The Broncos signed J.K. Dobbins today to a one-year deal. Denver also drafted running back R.J. Harvey out of UCF. So kind of an interesting backfield there. It'd be interesting to see who gets all the or gets the majority of touches.
Harvey's a good player. Dobbins a little older, obviously. He's a between the tackles guy. I will tell you this: with Sean Payton calling plays for Bo Nix, be careful of the Broncos. The Broncos might be pretty good. Bo Nix in today's NFL, he just got here, man. He's a pretty good player. You know, I mean, it's a disaster what happened in Auburn, and it turned out to be wonderful for Oregon because he wound up really good there. Bo Nix is a pretty good player, Hayes. He might be one of those guys. He's not a guy anybody's talking about now. And if you mention him, the fantasy people, oh, yeah. But you and I are going to sit here and talk quarterbacks. For whatever reason, you're never getting to him. You're going to get to Mahomes and Burrow and Lamar.
You might even get to Drake May first, and I would take Bo Nix.
Right. But you're never
based on what we've seen.
Yeah,
so
you're
far.
never going to get to Bo Nix. We're having these quarterback conversations. You're never getting to it. But he might be a pretty good player. That'll be fun to watch this year.
I agree. I think the Broncos have a chance to be really good this year. It's a brutally difficult division.
And we'll see them up close and personal out there.
That's right. Yeah, that's one of those road trips. Let's get to college football. I was stunned by this. Lee Corso's final game day will emanate from Columbus, Ohio, as Ohio State hosts Texas, which obviously is a huge game. And I understand that Lee Corso first donned headgear, and it was Brutus the Buckeye in Columbus, Ohio. I get that. But how is Lee Corso not at Alabama, Florida State, in Tallahassee, putting on the Seminole gear for his final show? I was shocked by this.
100% where he should be. I probably wasn't shocked by it because I wasn't sure they were going to get it right, and they didn't. 100%. Of course he should be in Tallahassee. He loves the Knowles. And, of course, he should put on the FSU headgear, even if they're an 18-point dog. That's what you do, and that's what they should have done. It doesn't matter. Nobody connects him to Ohio State. Even if it was, I had no idea that's where he first put the headgear on.
Exactly, yeah.
Nobody connects him to that. But they want to go to the better game, and I get that. That's a better game. Alabama and FSU will not be looked at as a great game. But I'm disappointed, too. Of course he should be in Tallahassee. There's no doubt. There's no denying that.
Yeah, without a doubt, that was disappointing. Let's get it to golf. The USGA released tee times for the first two rounds of the U.S. Open at Oakmont this week. Scotty Scheffler will play with Colin Morikawa and Victor Hovland, teeing off at 1:25 Thursday, followed by a 7:40 start on Friday morning. Rory McIlroy has a comfortable group playing with Shane Lowry and Justin Rose. That trio is early Thursday at 7:40, followed by a Friday afternoon start time of 1:25.
Let me ask this question on a Tuesday afternoon here on the First Coast. Have we all picked Scheffler?
I have not all of us.
Oh, you haven't?
I have not.
Okay.
Well, that's stupid. Why? You're ahead. You got no losses. And you haven't picked Scheffler.
That's correct.
That pisses me off.
Yeah.
I just want you to know my position on that. So you can still pick Scheffler.
I may not pick him this week. You never know. They're working in the lab. They're giving me pie charts and
that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
You just wave Scheffler in front of our face and then don't pick him. You know, hey guys, I can take Scheffler. You know what? I'm gonna save him.
Yeah.
The analytics are telling me.
They just wave. Hazel's just wave him out here. You guys, but you could have.
I may save him for Royal Port Rush, the British.
Oh, that's
but yeah. So we'll see what happens with our Loser Monday selections. That'll be tomorrow. So that'll be a lot of fun. Let's get into college baseball. Murray State upsets Duke to round out the College World Series field. The teams headed to Omaha, Arizona, Arkansas, Coastal Carolina, Louisville, LSU, Oregon State, and UCLA. We talked about this yesterday. Arkansas, the lone top 5 seed to reach Omaha. The Razorbacks are the number 3 ranked team in the field. But how much fun is it going to be having Murray State in there? I mean, the ultimate Cinderella.
Let me give you another stat that you just read. All these conferences, all these great teams, 2 from the SEC, 1 team from every other conference. You realize that?
That's wild.
1 ACC, 1 Big 12, 1 Sun Belt, 1 Missouri Valley, 1 Big 10, 1 Independent. The only conference with 2 is the SEC, and even the SEC won't have them long because LSU and Arkansas play each other.
Yeah.
So they're gonna. So I mean, this is really good. As much as you love your conference, whoever your conference is, this is phenomenal parity. I mean, it really, really is phenomenal parity. And I still say the SEC and the ACC have the best baseball. but neither one of them are dominant. Again, I love the way it played out.
We might get like remember when Fresno won?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago.
Fullerton has won.
Coastal Carolina won it, what, like 20?
Oh, yeah, they're like a
16,
power
I think.
now.
Coastal won it in 16, 15 or 16. Yeah, I think this is great. I don't know if it'll help Brady. Who cares? It's college baseball. By the way, I will say this. The momentum for college baseball is pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought the more people that watch more college baseball than they had in a long time. And I'm telling you, with ESPN not having Major League Baseball, I can't imagine how much the good of that deal is. You're going to see more college baseball than you could have imagined. See, the NBC might get baseball instead, but they were never going to show you college. MLB was never going to show you college. Now all these entities that might get Major League Baseball, ESPN is going to show you so much college baseball, and I love it.
And if they market it well, I mean, again, how many people have you heard? How many friends JJ told us, I locked in Saturday, Sunday watching college baseball in the regionals weekend, and then certainly the super regionals weekend.
Right.
Market that, make that a thing.
And the crowds are awesome.
Yeah,
it's
make that
easy.
something
Once
that the casual sports fan feels like. Look, this is something that you plan your day around of watching all this, particularly if you're a baseball fan. So it'll be. I agree with you. I feel like there's a lot of momentum with college baseball in terms of its growth in the years to come. In the world of hockey, defending champion Florida takes control of the Stanley Cup Finals with a 6-1 win over Edmonton to take a 2-1 lead in the series. The game was obviously not much of a game, but did you see the brawl? Because the brawl was one for the ages.
It was a real brawl, man.
It was until you guys are tired of throwing punches, we're not stepping in.
I mean, it was a real brawl, and I listen. The Panthers baited them. I thought, I think the emotional lift, not just winning the game and taking the series lead, but you got the impression, even a guy like me that didn't watch it very much, that the Panthers came out of there with a real mental advantage. Didn't you get that sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Edmonton handles this because they pretty much have to win the game 4. I mean, they can't go home down 3-1. So we'll see. But yeah, Florida looks like they're in good shape as this Stanley Cup Final starts to hit the start of its crescendo. Let's get into pop culture because on this date 18 years ago, this happened. The Sopranos finale aired. Think about that. A baby born on the day that the Sopranos finale aired is now a legal adult.
How about that? Wow, I didn't know. First of all, when I thought where you were going, I'm thinking, I don't know. I think this song's older than that. Hey, you can tell where you were going. No, you know what? 18 years since The Sopranos. I would never. If you had asked me, I'd have told you 7 or 8.
Isn't that nuts?
I would have told you 7 or 8.
I was blown away. The series ended with this classic "Don't Stop Believin'" by Journey playing as Tony Soprano and his family are in the diner, and of course it ends. It kind of just cuts to black, and you don't really know. It's kind of left up to the
people enjoyed
audience,
that, right?
Yeah, to decide what actually happened. And it really did. It really brought "Don't Stop Believing" back into the mainstream and exposed a great song to a whole new legion of fans.
That's exactly one of the great rock albums ever, really ever. It may be the greatest. And you're exactly right. That it relaunched that great song. I agree with you.
We will stay in pop culture. This was interesting. Are you a Big Bang Theory fan? I like the show.
Loved it.
Okay.
Loved it. Probably saw every episode.
Okay, yeah. I saw certainly a bunch of them as well. I thought it was excellent. And did you ever watch Young Sheldon?
No.
I never really did
get into
either.
that.
Gene I've seen a couple of them because Gene likes it.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing a whole new spinoff of the Big Bang Theory focusing on Stuart, the comic book store owner.
Right.
The show is tentatively titled Stuart Fails to Save the Universe and should be out in the next couple of months.
I didn't know that, but I will tell you,
he's a funny character.
Of all the comedies that get critically acclaimed, from the Dick Van Dyke Show all the way to Seinfeld and all in between, that doesn't get its due. Big Bang Theory was really funny because someone came up with this idea of all these nerds and the hot girl. It was really good, really, really good sitcom.
I like the episode where Sheldon pays Stuart to kind of be his date fill-in with Amy Farrah Fowler,
right?
And she obviously gets really upset. She's like, "Look, I just work here."
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, I don't know if that character can carry a show.
I don't either.
But I'm excited to see.
Yeah,
I always thought he was funny on Big Big Bang Theory. So.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I thought that sitcom did not get its due. It was really the way all the writing.
It's really, really funny.
I mean, really, and the writing was. I mean, because of all the science stuff they had. I mean, it was really a good show.
Yeah,
I mean, really, really good.
Absolutely. We'll get you guys out on our musical note of the day. Rest in peace to one of the greats, Sly Stone, who died on Monday at the age of 82. A rock pioneer, Stone founded Sly and the Family Stone in 1966 in San Francisco. They became one of the most influential bands in rock history. Sly and the Family Stone were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1993. This is Dance to the Music.
Great act from way back in the day, and one I can certainly relate to. I remember Sly and the Family Stone way back when I was just a tyke, as it were. Great job, as always, on Headlines. We'll wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harold and Harold studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
For the first time in the NASCAR Cup Series history, they'll be running in Mexico City. It's the Viva Mexico 250 at the Autodrome Hermanos Rodriguez, a 17-turn circuit. Shane Van Griesbergen, who is a road course specialist, is the betting favorite to win the race at plus 330. Christopher Bell, who has 3 victories this season, plus 600. Tyler Reddick is plus 750. William Byron also plus 750. Kyle Larson plus 900. And Chase Elliott plus 1,000. The IndyCar Series will run at the Worldwide Technology Raceway outside St. Louis. Joseph Newgarden is the defending champ and the betting favorite at plus 260. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Oh, no. No.
You okay in there?
Toilet's backed up. It won't flush.
Okay, I'll call the pros.
The tank isn't filling. The handle does nothing. Run for your life.
Don't be so dramatic. Duck Duck Rooter will fix it.
For any plumbing issue, call Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing professionals and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Lauren Brooks here. At Hodges Mazda, they are proud of their solid reputation in the Jacksonville community. As your hometown Mazda dealer, their high customer service standards and their huge inventory of new and used cars provide their customers a consistently first-rate car buying experience. Their professional non-commissioned sales team puts your best interest first without exception. And all new vehicle purchases include the Hodges Mazda Protection Package. Visit them online at HodgesMazda.com or stop in today to learn more and discover the Hodges Mazda difference.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
If you missed it, get it on demand.
And you send those out on the line.
Find your 1010XL favorites where you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com. Channel 5. Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Is your roof ready for hurricane season? When storms hit, you need more than just a roof. You need trust. Valor Roofing Company is veteran-owned and operated, serving all of Florida with integrity and quality craftsmanship. From minor repairs to full replacements, they'll treat your home like it's their own. Estimates are always free, and veterans receive a special discount on all roofing services. Visit ValorRoofingCo.com and protect your home with people who care. GAF certified license CCC 1334864.
Your yard starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC? Russell Tree Care. At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Now for a limited time, when you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Are you about to get married or been married for years thinking it's time for an upgrade? There's nothing that symbolizes your love more than the wedding band. Beard's has hundreds and hundreds of bands from top designers in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, pave set, eternity bands. And for men, masculine bands, wide, modern, with and without diamonds, hammered, brushed, engraved, lots of colors. Come to Beard's now and find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beard's can. And it's happening now through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol, Beard's Diamonds, at St. John's Town Center.
What Major League Baseball teams have never won a World Series?
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
There are 5 Major League Baseball teams that have never won a World Series: Colorado, Milwaukee, San Diego, Seattle, and Tampa Bay.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
I-9 Sports is geared up for fun for kids all over the First Coast with summer and fall registration now open. Kids ages 3 to 17 can get in the gym or on the field with I-9 Sports, covering Clay, Duval, St. John's. And I-9 has all-girls flag football at Oakleaf, UNF, Fletcher, and Creekside. Plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast to take advantage of. Don't miss out. Registration now open for summer and fall at I-9 Sports. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, today on the program, we talked about being down at the Jaguar Minicamp, first of 3. Tomorrow and Thursday, they'll be on the field as well. And Hayes will have his terrific one-on-ones as he always does. Today it was Brenton Strange. We'll talk more about what's going on with the Jaguars every day today, as we did today on the program. Tomorrow, by the way, Brett Hastings is really going to break down this NIL stuff for us and what is going to be allowed and what isn't. We didn't really get to that today on the program. We talked about Anthony Richardson a little bit and also other quarterbacks around the league. And we even talked a little baseball. Where's Aaron Judge headed? Are we going to have Judge Ohtani, and is it going to feel like Magic and Bird way back in the day? We'll see if it does. And that's where we've been over the course of the program today. We did not talk about Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, if you're following this story,
yeah,
there's an illness. It's an unspecified health issue, but it's clear now it's pretty serious. Remember now he had a health when he had a few years ago. He had blood clots that were serious. He had two toes amputated, including one of his big toes amputated, and so because blood clots had to be pretty serious. And now they said he's been away from Colorado with an unspecified health issue. You don't hear that very often. And I hope Deion's okay.
Yeah.
But they say he'll be back. He's going to be fine. I don't know, though. You get the feeling that, and I hope he is, and I don't think they're misleading anybody. But I get the hunch, Hayes, when we hear what this is, it might be something more significant than we thought.
Wow.
Well, there's no inside information.
Sure.
I don't think it's the flu. I get the impression that you're going to learn that, we had this or we had this. Even his son said when he gets back, he'll tell you what he's going through and what he went through. He used it in past tense. So that makes me wonder if there's a surgery of some sort.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully he's okay. I mean, he's one of the brightest personalities in the sports landscape.
Yeah. But we'll talk. But I just the Deion Sanders story, the second chapter, the second act of the Deion Sanders story, Deion the coach, has been a fascinating story. I mean, the first chapter is as good as it gets. He was this fantastic football player, probably the best corner to ever play. He did it while also playing Major League Baseball. Think about that. You talk about guys playing two positions. He played two sports. Think about it. Two positions and two sports. This is a guy that caught passes as a receiver, great cornerback, and played on a great Atlanta Braves baseball team. Didn't win the title, but certainly played in the World Series. Think about that.
Yeah.
He was a starting outfielder in the World Series, and he was a great football player for both the Falcons, the 49ers, the Cowboys, whoever. So Act 1 was an amazing story. And what a movie that would be. Well, and then Deion goes away because they all do. And he went to NFL Network. And the next act, or maybe that was Act 2, so maybe this is Act 3, but the most current act of the Deion Sanders story, pops up as a coach, gets the Jackson State job, does such a great job there that Colorado, a Power 4, hires him, recruits the ultimate Heisman Trophy winner away from Florida State. I mean, if you look at the Deion Sanders, you talk about a book. The Deion Sanders story, and I hope it's not over, by the way. I'm not implying that it is. What a story.
What a story, particularly if Travis Hunter ends up being like the Shohei Ohtani of the NFL.
Yes.
Because I think you have to ask the question, like if Travis Hunter had signed with Florida State, would he have been able to play both ways? Because I don't remember that being, obviously it never got there, but he was committed to Florida State for months.
A while, yeah.
Before, he backed off and signed with Colorado. And it does make you wonder, like, if it turns out that Travis Hunter is exceptional at both receiver and corner, I think history will reflect really kindly on Deion Sanders for giving him that opportunity to be that kind of player in college. Because a lot of college coaches would have been like, no, you're a corner.
Right.
Or no, you're a receiver. I'm not playing you both ways. But Deion Sanders was very comfortable allowing Travis Hunter to chase that dream.
Yeah, you're right about that. And he had done it. And
he was rewarded for it. Travis Hunter wins the Heisman.
Yeah, so you're exactly right. So we'll see. Hopefully he's okay. You and I were just talking during the break. SEC Media Days around the corner. Matt Hayes, Mia, and I will be there for the radio station, and that does sort of kick it off, doesn't it? I mean, it is. Hayes, it's a month away.
It's a month away.
We're a month away from SEC Media.
Who do you hope Florida brings?
Great question. You got to bring Lagway.
But will they?
Well, if they don't bring Lagway,
don't come if you don't.
Yeah,
bring
really. And they'll bring the center, I would imagine.
Yeah, Slaughter.
Slaughter deserves
Tyreek
to go.
Sapp probably.
And probably Sapp. Yeah, that should be the three. If they don't bring Lagway, that is to use one of your words. That is malpractice.
Yeah.
You can't, with all the talk about him,
right?
You can't show up without DJ Lagway.
Just like Texas can't show up without Arch Manning.
100%. So
Lagway's a Heisman candidate.
Yeah, and he's the guy everybody talks about.
But would it shock you if any of these I'm not picking on Billy Napier.
Yeah. No.
Would it shock you if a coach was like, "Oh, I'm not bringing." I mean, yeah, he's only a true sophomore. We've got redshirt seniors.
I need my 12th year senior,
right?
Who's got 12 degrees,
right?
No, I will. But I've always said this. There should be a man. It's for the media and the fans. There should be a mandate to bring the quarterback every year.
Right.
Now the one exception, I get it, when you've got two guys battling it out. That's the one thing. But other than that, you should always bring the quarterback. So my guess would be Lagway, Slaughter, and probably Sapp. I could see, because he's been there the whole time. I'm trying to think. Could they bring? Pup was hurt a lot last year. Caleb Banks. I could. He's only I could see Caleb Banks because Caleb Banks came back, and he's the guy that they think will be a first round pick. Mm-hmm. So I could see maybe Lagway, Slaughter, Banks would make some sense.
Mm-hmm.
But, what's weird with the portal? You just brought up like quarterback battles in camp. Like that's non-existent anymore. You never hear about a quarterback competition for college now. It's like you have the starter. We just paid him $4 million to transfer over here. It's just like
you're right.
It's a lost
less than
thing.
ever.
Yeah.
Less than ever. Yeah, it really is. That's the craziest thing about where we are. don't ever want to be old, get off my lawn guy. I want it the way it was 30 years ago because that's what old people do. And I said, I'm never going to become an old person. But but it really is weird how the way it used to be when your backup quarterback was your freshman and sophomore and he'd one day win the job. Florida State was the best at that.
Oh, yeah.
Florida State for 14 years, you signed with the Noles. You were whatever the equivalent of a 5-star was, a McDonald's a parade All-American. And then you waited your turn. No one left. Now, quarterbacks transferred. There were some quarterbacks that transferred. In fact, I wrote a story in the 80s. Billy Ray, Jeff George, and Dan McGuire all transferred out of their first schools, and they were big-time recruits. So, but anyway, it's an interesting storyline how different it is and how different it was all those times. All right, let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Rick, let me start with condolences losing your father.
Yes,
what a nice man. You when we worked together, I had the honor of meeting him 3 or 4 times when he would come in studio. What a genuinely nice man, and I know how close you were. So condolences, the loss of a very good man.
Yeah, I mean the best, and I'll spend a minute on him, but it's been rough on the entire family.
Yeah, but
cancer sucks, man. Cancer's undefeated.
Yeah, you know what? It really does. And I lost my mom. I lived it with you when you were going through it with your mom.
Yeah.
So those are hard times. So and I know you. But
I need this. This is a drug.
Yeah.
Radio's a drug for me.
Right, that's right.
So I'm back and I'm ready to roll and I'm fired up to talk to the Into the Night listeners. And I thought today was a good day. I thought the tempo was up, and I just really enjoyed being out there watching them practice for a couple of hours.
Yeah, what jumped off? What jumped off the page for you watching the practice?
I thought it was once again a balanced practice. If you look at Tyson Campbell and Brian Thomas Jr., it's almost like a heavyweight fight. You have a great play by Thomas Jr., then you have a really good play by Tyson Campbell. And, I asked Liam Cohen that question last week. I think that's really hard when the offense does well. That means the defense gives them a play. When the defense does well, that means the offense isn't making a play. But how do you add all that up? I guess this is what you kind of want.
Yeah,
you want it to be almost 50-50. And that's what we saw today. The one thing I'm having a little bit of trouble with, and I'm going to talk about it, is talking with some former players and stuff today. They're really bragging about the pass rush.
Yeah.
But how can you do that if you're not really allowed to pass block?
And Cohen said that.
Yeah,
Cohen pretty said you really can't pass block.
It's wait, this pass, Ogba and Smoot's back. 60 sacks are coming and all this. And I'm just kind of like, all right, well, let's wait till they start hitting. So I did catch up with one of those newest members of the offensive line, Robert Hainsey, so we'll get a chance to talk with him as well.
All right, I'll come.
Thank you.
Rick Ballou goes into the night, and we'll be listening as we always do. Folks, that'll do it for our program. Don't go anywhere. Rick is next tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.